Have you ever looked at a regular house and just wondered, what's its real potential? I'm not talking about just a place to live, but as that first domino, the one that kicks off a chain reaction that leads to real financial freedom. Well, let's dive into this, because today we're breaking down an incredible 15-year blueprint for exactly that: how to turn one single property into a powerful, income-generating 10-unit empire. And it really does all start right here. Just look at this. It's a nice, solid, single-family home. You see houses like this in pretty much any neighborhood. But here's the thing. Locked inside this property is the seed of a whole multi-unit portfolio. The real trick is knowing how to unlock that hidden value, step by methodical step. So, what's the big, audacious goal at the end of this 15-year road trip? 10. That's the number. 10 rental units, all owned completely free and clear, no debt whatsoever. Now, I know that sounds like a massive leap from that one house, but the roadmap to get there is actually surprisingly straightforward when you break it all down. All right, so let's get right into phase one, the conversion roadmap. This is all about taking aggressive, smart action in those first couple of years. The goal? To totally change what this asset is and just multiply its ability to make you money. Here's the 4-step battle plan. First up, you buy the property using what's called a DSCR loan. Now, this is super important. A DSCR loan is based on the income potential of the property itself, not your personal salary. And that, my friends, is a total game changer for investors because it lets you scale way faster. Then you get right to work. Step 2, you convert the basement into its own one-bedroom unit. Step 3, you tackle those 2 detached shops out back, turning them into 2 more income-producing units. And just like that, you've got 4 doors bringing in rent where there used to be only 1. What's so cool about this is you can actually see the raw potential. I mean, look at that unfinished basement on the left. That's not some problem you have to deal with. That's a golden opportunity. By building it out into a proper one-bedroom apartment, you've literally doubled the income streams from the main house. It's the lowest hanging fruit and the first huge value add. And this just perfectly shows the next move. You see those detached shops on the left? Most people just use them for junk storage, but here, they become your 3rd and 4th rental units. You're not even building from scratch. You're just transforming the existing footprint into finished, rentable living spaces. You're squeezing value out of every single square foot of that property. So here's the crucial part. What happens right after these conversions? It's a concept called forced equity. See, unlike market appreciation, where you're just sitting around waiting for prices to go up, you have forced the property's value to jump by a whopping 20 to 30%, all through your own strategic improvements. You didn't just buy a single-family home, you've now created a 4-unit complex, and the new appraisal is going to reflect that massive new value you built. Okay, so you've done it. You've created a 4-unit cash-flowing machine and a huge chunk of new equity. So now what? Well, you've got to deal with the debt. Let's move to section 2 and see how this all builds into a super disciplined financial attack plan called the debt strike. The main idea here is something called debt defense. You're not just going to make minimum payments here and there. Nope. You're going to take the entire combined profit from all 4 units and focus it like a laser beam on one single target, your most expensive debt. This is how you put your path to 100% ownership on hyperdrive. And this right here shows you exactly why that focus is so critical. Let's say that first DSCR loan is at 7% interest, and maybe you've got another smaller mortgage at 4.5%. It is always, and I mean always, a better deal mathematically to just annihilate that higher interest 7% loan first. Every single extra dollar you throw at it saves you more in interest and frees up your capital that much faster. It's just simple math. I absolutely love this line from the source material. Weaponize your profit. It just completely reframes your whole mindset, doesn't it? It's not just about paying bills anymore. It's an active, offensive strategy. You're taking the cash flow from your new little empire and using it as an actual weapon to dismantle the debt standing in your way. Now, attacking debt like that is incredibly powerful. But what happens when that debt is just gone? Well, this brings us to a huge turning point in the journey. Once that first property is paid off, you enter section 3, becoming your own bank. So, once that fourplex is all paid off, you do something really simple, but kind of radical. For 1 entire year, that's year 9 in this plan, you save every single dollar of profit. With 4 units pumping out cash, this creates what we call a war chest of around $90,000 in just 12 months. This is your capital now. You don't have to ask a bank for money anymore. You are the bank. And that war chest, that's what fuels the explosion. In year 10, you take that cash and you buy your first duplex. Now, with the income from all 6 of your units combined, you pay off that new property in less than 3 years. Then you just rinse and repeat. You save up the cash flow, buy another duplex in year 13, and by the time you hit year 15, everything, all 10 units, is completely paid off. And here it is. This is the result of 15 years of discipline. A portfolio of 10 units, totally debt-free, generating up to $15,000 a month in passive income. It's a powerful picture of the endgame, and to think it all started with that one single house we saw at the very beginning. Of course, a brilliant strategy is only half the battle, right? It needs the right environment to really thrive. So for our final section, let's look at the investor's advantage and really understand why a specific type of market, in this case, Twin Falls, Idaho, is the perfect place to pull off this plan. So if we look at the market data here, what do we see? We see stability and we see growth. Prices are going up steadily, but not in some crazy bubble. Inventory is pretty balanced, but the really crucial number for this strategy is right there at the bottom. The average rent for a one-bedroom is going up by almost 4% every year. That tells you there's strong, consistent demand for the exact kind of units this plan creates. And the why behind that demand is pretty clear. You've got steady population growth, a diverse economy with big employers and sectors that don't quit during a recession like healthcare, and you have very low unemployment. All of this just creates a constant need for workforce housing, making your little one-bedroom units the lifeblood of the local rental market. Now let's be real, a 15-year plan takes patience. And that's why the strategy includes what's called the legacy draw, to make the whole journey sustainable. The model suggests a simple 20-80 split. It's easy. 20% of the profits go to you, for your lifestyle, while the other 80% gets relentlessly reinvested back into the mission to kill debt and fuel growth. So if your property's net $5,000 in a month, you take $1,000 for yourself and the other $4,000 go right back to work. It's what keeps you in the game. So there you have it. We've walked through the entire roadmap, converting a single asset, weaponizing its profit to wipe out debt, becoming your own bank, and then rapidly expanding into a 10-unit debt-free legacy asset. And it really just leaves us with one last powerful question to think about. This is the blueprint for one property in one market. So what could yours look like?